I am so good at video games. Look at me destroying... Well, I won't make that mistake. Okay, right, I've got this. Here we go. La 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 la. Oh dear. Welcome, dear sirs and madams, to my second video.
Are you going to say that at the start of every video?
What do you mean? Perhaps, maybe?
I mean, well, will you be saying, welcome to my 99th video, only it's going to get old fairly quickly, and nowadays the cool kids want short and snappy original content.
Fine, right, okay then, well, just welcome to another video. In this one, we will be talking about the game Blazing Chrome.
Ali, you sound different, like, you don't sound like you normally do, but I guess there's only been one video so far, so you don't really have enough for an average to know what you would normally sound like. But you do sound different.
Yes, I am currently a little bit ill, and so my voice is a little bit silly, but from future videos, hopefully everything will be back to normal. Blazing Chrome is a video game created by mortal people that works some number of days in a week, but hopefully not too many, towards the goal of creating a video game.
But who are they?
Blazing Chrome was developed by Joymasher and published by the Arcade Crew. It was released on the 11th of July 2019. So let us take a look at the start menu options. There's the arcade mode, which is the main mode of the game, the boss rush mode where you can rush at bosses. There's the achievement screen where you can see the various achievements you have or might not have. There's the options screen, which has various options that can be pushed up and down and left to right. There's the credits screen where you can see the credits of the game, although I seem to have started it now, so now I'm a little bit stuck, not sure if I can get out. Oh, it looks like we can get out. And finally, there's the option to exit. In Blazing Chrome, you, the player, and if you still have some from last time, a friend. Oh, what wonders there are to behold in the throes of a friendship. Hold on to them, dear viewers, for you do not want to lose them, for they care for you and you for them.
Get on with it!
Yes, right, this game, Blazing Chrome, is a run-and-gun action game, very much in the mould of the old classic Contra. It is a jolly good time. Blazing Chrome is very 80s, early 90s, not just because of its obvious nods to Contra, but also because of the bright colours, smashing pixel art, and a rocking soundtrack that brings back memories of old playing Nintendo or Sega, back in the glorious day when this dwarf was just a wee nipper. The aim of the game is to run from left to right, blasting at any and all baddies that you might come across. You start simply with a machine gun that allows you to happily rend enemies to pieces, as well as a spiffing smack to the noggin should any of them get too close. There is also jumping, and where, dear viewer, would we be if we could not jump? Why, just the other day as I sat alone I wondered, perhaps I should jump, and so I did. Each level has an associated difficulty stated on the level select screen, which can give you an idea about what you'll be getting yourself into. Giving the player the choice in which level to attempt, besides the 5th, which is unlocked by defeating the other 4, is an appreciated addition. This allows the player to tackle all the levels in whichever way they fancy. Do you dive in headfirst, brazenly batting aside the great threat of harder difficulties, or do you side with caution and brush up on your running and gunning skills by tackling the easy levels first? The choice is yours. As the player progresses through each level, they will come across power-ups that improve the carnage they intend to make upon those rancid baddies. These take the form of interesting new types of weaponry. What is nice here is that you can carry more than one gun at a time and are able to switch between them. If you've collected various weapons, then only the weapon you are using at the time will be lost should you perish. You can even switch back to the standard machine gun should you fancy. At various stages during each level, there will be mini-boss encounters. These scallywags are not bossy enough to be an end-of-level main boss, but they are definitely a thorn in the side of the hero attempting to save the day. The main bosses themselves come in all shapes and sizes. Each has their own set of abilities and skills which will need to be learnt by a fearless player should they wish to topple one of these villainous foes. Once you've learned where to stand your standy legs, where to shoot your shooty shoot, and where to jump up and away, then you will no doubt put paid to their machinations of evilry. Should the player defeat the game on normal difficulty, then along with unlocking the hard difficulty, you'll also unlock some new characters to play with. These characters work quite differently than the two you play with from the get-go. This unlocks a new way to play the game on top of just making everything harder. Though you could stop after the first completion, the game gives you more than enough reason to play through the whole thing once again. So you might say, is it any good? Well, yes, I would say so. The game wears its influences heavily upon its pixelated sleeve, but with great passion. If you like some of the classic era late 80s, early 90s run and gun games, then I'm sure you will like this too. This is not to say, of course, that if you have little experience with this sort of genre, that you might not readily get into Blazing Chrome. Far from it. I feel it is accessible enough that anyone that likes the look of it and fancies having a go should jolly well do so. The game can become quite tricky, especially at higher difficulties, but it exemplifies the play's firm but fair. Though you may bark out expletives on various occasions as you die on the same blooming section, you never feel like you had died cheaply through some devious mechanic. And so, once again, as we tie up this new video and I close the doors to this ancient hall of our dwarven ancestors, I mention again that should you fancy, please give this video a thumbs up, post a comment, and share it with your friends.
Is the book still available?
Yes, my book is still available on Amazon right now. Please check the link in the description. And with that, I bid you goodbye.